The night was calm across the world, with millions of people asleep, unaware of the event that was about to change humanity forever. In a quiet observatory tucked away in a remote mountain range, a team of scientists stared at their monitors, puzzled by a strange pattern emerging from the depths of space. At first, it seemed like just another burst of static or a random cosmic noise, but as the seconds passed, the signal grew stronger, clearer, and impossible to ignore. It was unlike anything Earth's instruments had ever recorded before, a rhythmic pulse that carried a hidden message embedded deep in its waves. The observatory's director called in experts from around the globe, and soon a worldwide network of satellites, radio telescopes, and communication arrays tuned in to catch this mysterious transmission. The news spread quickly, sparking a mix of excitement and anxiety in every corner of the planet. This was not just a faint whisper from the stars. It was a powerful signal. It's carefully coded and unmistakably intelligent. As teams worked feverishly to decode the signal, their excitement shifted to concern. The message was not a greeting or a simple hello as many had hoped. Instead, it contained a clear warning from an advanced extraterrestrial civilization. The aliens knew about Earth and they knew about humanity's rapid rise in technology and influence in the galaxy. The words and symbols in the transmission described a future that was both thrilling and terrifying. Some parts hinted at cooperation, a chance for humans to join a greater cosmic community. But other sections spoke of consequences and danger if Earth continued on its current path. The message left little room for doubt. Humanity was no longer invisible in the vast universe. Eyes were watching, and judgments were being made. News outlets around the world broadcast the story nonstop. Governments held emergency meetings behind closed doors. Leaders struggled to maintain calm in front of their citizens while privately debating what actions to take. The global population was divided in its reaction. Many were filled with hope, believing this could be the start of a new era of friendship and discovery. But just as many feared invasion or punishment, imagining fleets of alien ships descending from the sky, people on the streets looked up at the night sky with a mixture of wonder and dread, as if the stars themselves had become a looming presence. For the first time, humanity truly felt the weight of the cosmos pressing down upon them. Scientists working on the signal faced enormous pressure. Every day brought new breakthroughs and new puzzles. They discovered parts of the message that seemed to include star maps, coordinates leading to distant galaxies, and references to technologies far beyond Earth's understanding. These discoveries suggested that the alien civilization was ancient and powerful, capable of traveling across light years and observing planets with great precision. The message also hinted at a history of civilizations rising and falling under the watch of these cosmic beings. Humanity was not alone, and the universe was far more dangerous and complex than anyone had imagined. As fear and uncertainty grew, some voices urged caution and unity. They called on humanity to come together, to stop fighting amongst themselves, and to prepare for what lay ahead with strength and intelligence. Others pushed for aggressive responses, arguing that Earth must be ready to defend itself by any means necessary. Debates flared up in governments, media, and online forums. Old rivalries were put on hold as the threat from beyond forced a rare global focus. Yet beneath the surface, tension simmered. Could humanity really overcome its differences in time? Or would fear and suspicion tear it apart when the moment of truth arrived? Meanwhile, ordinary people experienced the news in deeply personal ways. Some found themselves overwhelmed by anxiety, unable to sleep or concentrate. Families gathered to discuss what this meant for their future, while children looked at the sky with wide eyes, dreaming of aliens but fearing the unknown. In cities and small towns alike, the sudden knowledge of an alien presence brought a strange mix of hope and panic. Many felt small and fragile, like ants under a giant's gaze, while others felt a spark of something stronger, an awakening of a long-dormant courage and determination. There was a growing sense that humanity was being tested not just by the signal, but by what it represented, a challenge to prove that Earth was worthy of respect and survival. As the days turned into weeks, the signal did not fade. It repeated, stronger and more urgent, as if urging humanity to pay attention and prepare. Scientists grew more confident in their ability to decode the message, but the full meaning remained elusive. Governments increased surveillance of the skies and launched secret projects to enhance Earth's defenses and technologies. International organizations organized forums to share information and discuss plans.
Yes.
Despite this, the tension and fear were hard to shake. People whispered about the possibility of war beyond the stars or an invitation to join an interstellar alliance. What was certain was that nothing would ever be the same again. The world's greatest minds worked around the clock, driven by a mixture of fear and fascination. They knew this was a moment unlike any other in human history. The signal was not just a call from another world. It was a mirror reflecting humanity's strengths and weaknesses, its hopes and fears. It showed that Earth was now a player on a cosmic stage, and every decision would shape the future of all who lived on it. In quiet rooms, amid endless calculations and experiments, there was a growing belief that humanity could rise to meet this challenge not as divided nations, but as a united species. As the planet turned beneath the watching stars, people everywhere waited for what would come next. The signal had awakened something deep inside humanity. Fury not born of anger or hatred, but of fierce pride and the unyielding will to survive. Fear still lingered, but alongside it burned a new determination. Earth was no longer a hidden world. It was known, watched, and judged by forces beyond imagination. Now, humanity had a choice to make: to cower in the shadow of the unknown, or to stand tall and fight with every ounce of strength it had. The quiet night was gone forever. The age of awakening had begun. As the news of the alien signal spread across the globe, the world's unity quickly began to crumble under the weight of fear, hope, and uncertainty. What had at first seemed like a singular moment of wonder transformed into a fierce battle of ideas, beliefs, and strategies. People everywhere took sides, their opinions reflecting the deep divisions within humanity itself. Some called for peace, urging caution and diplomacy. They believed the aliens might be curious explorers or ancient teachers, eager to share knowledge and invite humans into a larger cosmic community. These voices emphasized dialogue, patience, and the chance to learn from beings far more advanced than humanity. They pointed to the parts of the message that spoke of cooperation and understanding, hoping that fear would not cloud humanity's judgment. But just as loud were the calls for defense and preparation. Many feared the worst: an invasion, a threat looming just beyond the stars. These groups argued that Earth could not afford to be vulnerable, especially to a power that clearly knew about humanity and had sent a warning that hinted at consequences. They pushed governments to build new weapons, improve space defenses, and develop rapid response teams capable of facing any attack. The world watched as military budgets soared and secret projects began, their details hidden from the public. At the same time, ordinary people felt the growing tension in their daily lives. Conversations at dinner tables grew heated and friendships strained under differing views on how to respond. Communities debated whether to prepare for peace or war, unsure if their leaders were making the right choices. Behind closed doors, governments struggled with the same dilemma. High-level meetings ran late into the night, as diplomats, generals, and scientists argued over the path forward. Some believed a show of strength was necessary to deter any hostile intentions, while others feared that aggressive moves might provoke the very conflict humanity sought to avoid. As political divisions deepened, something unexpected began to emerge beneath the surface: a network of underground groups that rejected old boundaries and rivalries. These movements called on humanity to awaken its hidden potential, to embrace qualities long ignored: creativity, resilience, and unity beyond borders. Their members included scientists, engineers, thinkers, and ordinary citizens who believed the alien challenge was also an opportunity for humanity to rise as one. These groups shared information secretly, exchanged ideas for new technologies, and inspired others to look beyond fear toward hope and strength. Among them, shadowy coalition formed an alliance of the brightest minds and most daring strategists from various nations. Working in secret to unlock the mysteries of the alien message, this coalition believed that the signal contained keys to technology that could revolutionize Earth's future. They worked tirelessly in hidden labs, decoding star maps, experimenting with new energy sources, and designing advanced defense systems inspired by the clues within the signal. Yet their progress was a double-edged sword. While it gave hope for survival and growth, it also sparked fear among those who worried about the consequences of tampering with unknown forces. Outside the labs, the alien signal pulsed again, stronger and more complex. It sent fragments of star charts leading to faraway galaxies and cryptic warnings that suggested even greater dangers beyond Earth's immediate reach. The repeated transmissions hinted at a universe filled with mysteries and challenges, where civilizations rose and fell under watchful eyes. This revelation intensified the urgency to prepare, but it also deepened the divide. Some saw the warnings as proof that humanity must unite quickly or be crushed like those before it, while others believed they were a test-on invitation to prove Earth's worthiness. The media fueled the tension with endless speculation and debate. Headlines questioned whether humanity would survive contact, and talk shows featured experts who either predicted doom or promised hope. Social media exploded with rumors and theories, spreading both panic and courage. Meanwhile, everyday life went on, but nothing felt normal anymore. Schools began to teach about the alien message, and new fields of study emerged overnight. People watched the skies with a mix of fear and fascination, hoping for a sign but fearing what it might mean. Governments launched covert missions to explore the edges of the solar system, sending probes and satellites to gather intelligence about the source of the signal. Behind these efforts were quiet fears. What if the aliens were closer than anyone guessed? What if their intentions were darker than the warnings implied? Yet amid all the uncertainty, humanity's spirit flickered like a stubborn flame refusing to die out. Communities organized drills, shared resources, and prepared for any outcome from peaceful contact to allowed conflict. Artists created works inspired by the signal, expressing both awe and defiance. Philosophers debated the meaning of humanity's place in the universe, and young people dreamed of being the generation to answer the call. The divide in society was real, but so was the growing realization that, no matter the outcome, Earth would never be the same. It was a time of fear and hope intertwined, of darkness and light pushing against each other in a fragile balance. Humanity was learning that it must face this new challenge together, or risk falling apart before it even began. As the signal continued to echo through the cosmos, its message was clear. The universe was watching, waiting, and testing, and humanity, at its most divided moment, had to find the strength to rise as one or face the consequences alone. The silence of space was broken when unmanned probes appeared at the very edge of the solar system, casting a cold, quiet gaze upon Earth. These foreign machines, sleek and unlike any human creation, moved with precision and purpose, signaling that the alien presence was no longer just a distant warning but a looming reality. Across the globe, the sighting of these silent observers sent waves of shock, disbelief, and urgency rippling through governments and citizens alike. Instead of succumbing to panic or despair, humanity felt a new fire burning within, fierce, unyielding determination that would come to define this era. Old grudges and rivalries, which had long divided the nations of Earth, began to fade as leaders realized that survival demanded unity. Resources were pooled, and knowledge was shared with an urgency never before seen. Scientists and engineers, who once worked in isolation, found themselves collaborating across borders, driven by a shared mission to protect their planet and their people. New weapons were designed not just for offense, but for defense. Technologies that combined Earth's existing strengths with fresh ideas inspired by the alien signal's cryptic hints. However, humanity's true strength was not found in machines or weapons alone. Stories began to emerge from every corner of the world, ordinary men and women who rose to the challenge with extraordinary courage. Farmers used ancient survival skills to create safe shelters. Teachers organized training programs to prepare young minds for the challenges ahead. And engineers repurposed old factories to produce tools and devices that could detect and respond to alien activity. These acts of bravery and innovation spread like wildfire, inspiring others to stand strong. What fueled this fury was not blind rage, but a clear and fierce resolve to defend Earth's freedom, its future, and the very essence of what it meant to be human. Communities organized swiftly, creating networks to share information and support one another, forming a global safety net that no single nation could achieve alone. Amid the tension and uncertainty, moments of hope and heroism shone brightly, reminding humanity of its potential. Across the oceans and continents, cities lit up with renewed purpose. In the shadows of great metropolises, secret teams worked on decoding alien technology, while in small villages, people gathered to watch the skies and prepare for whatever might come. The fury ignited was not chaotic or reckless. It was focused, strategic, and driven by a deep love for home. As the probes continued their silent watch, humanity's response grew stronger and more coordinated. The world's military forces conducted joint exercises for the first time in decades, practicing defense tactics that combined traditional methods with new experimental technology. Scientists made breakthroughs in energy production, creating shields that could deflect certain kinds of radiation, and communication systems that could potentially intercept alien transmissions. The air was thick with anticipation and resolve. News of these efforts spread quickly, boosting morale and reminding people that even in the face of an unknown, humanity was far from powerless. In cities and countryside alike, ordinary people began to see themselves as guardians of Earth, not just passive inhabitants. The sense of shared purpose rekindled pride and strength that many thought had been lost to time. In this critical moment, humanity's fury was revealed as a force unlike any other, not a blind fury driven by anger or fear, but a passionate and relentless determination to stand tall against the unknown. The resolve to protect, to innovate, and to unite surpassed all previous conflicts and fears. This was a turning point, a moment when humanity chose to fight not just for survival, but to prove its worth in the vast cosmos. The alien probes, once symbols of distant threat, now served as a challenge to be met with courage and strength. In homes, schools, and public squares, people shared stories of bravery, children building makeshift antennas to listen for signals, scientists working long nights to crack alien codes, and everyday heroes who volunteered to protect their communities. These stories became the heartbeat of a new era, a reminder that the true power of humanity lay in its spirit. As the days passed and the probes remained near the solar system's edge, watching and waiting, Earth no longer felt like a small, fragile world lost in the stars. It felt alive with energy and furia born of hope, resilience, and an unbreakable will to protect what mattered most. The world was changing, and so was humanity. Together, they would face the unknown, not as separate nations or divided peoples, but as one fierce and unstoppable force, ready to defend their home and claim their place among the stars. The moment humanity had feared and hoped for arrived suddenly yet with quiet gravity, as a vast alien armada appeared on the solar horizon. Their ships casting long shadows that stretched across the void like dark giants waking from slumber. The ships were unlike anything Earth had ever seen, sleek, fast, and glowing faintly with an eerie light that hinted at technologies far beyond human understanding. The world held its breath as the armada moved slowly, not with aggression, but with a deliberate calm that suggested this was not an invasion, but a moment of reckoning. Instead of the expected immediate attack, what followed was a tense standoff, as humans and aliens studied each other across the vast emptiness of space. Earth's military forces deployed cautiously, their fleets rising to meet the alien presence. But instead of launching strikes, both sides seemed to be testing waters, searching for weaknesses and trying to understand intentions. The unexpected nature of this pause gave humanity time to reflect, to prepare, and to summon courage from the depths of their being. It became clear that this was not just a battle of weapons, but a challenge of wills. Humans responded with tactics that surprised the alien observers, adaptive, creative, and fearless moves that reflected humanity's ability to think outside the box and act. with boldness even when outmatched in technology. This display of ingenuity was not lost on the aliens, who appeared to respect the fighting spirit and resilience of their once-hidden observers. Then, breaking the silence, communication arrived in a way that sent ripples through the world. The alien leader, a towering figure encased in a shimmering aura of light, reached out through a message to a specially chosen human envoy. This envoy was no ordinary diplomat, but a symbol of humanity's hope and determination, someone selected for their courage, wisdom, and ability to represent the complex spirit of Earth's people. The message was clear but challenging. Peace was possible, but only if humanity could prove its unity and strength without falling into chaos or division. The envoy was given a test unlike any other, a series of trials designed to push not just an individual, but the entire species to their limits. These challenges were impossible in many ways, testing patience, cooperation, intelligence, and the willingness to overcome fear and mistrust. The envoy's journey became a reflection of humanity's own struggle, to come together despite differences, to face hardship with resolve, and to show that even in the face of the unknown, there was hope for peace. The world watched as the envoy moved through these trials, encountering moments that demanded sacrifice, ingenuity, and unyielding spirit. Alongside, humanity prepared for all outcomes, aware that the stakes could not be higher. Each success in the envoy's tests became a beacon of hope, while setbacks reminded all of the fragile balance on which the future rested. The alien armada remained on the edge of the solar system, neither advancing nor retreating, a constant reminder of the delicate tension between war and peace. This first encounter changed the way humanity saw itself and its place in the universe. No longer was Earth an isolated planet, but a player on a cosmic stage where strength was measured not only by weapons, but by heart and mind. The envoy's struggle became a story told across nations and inspiring. The tale of resilience and unity that helped heal old wounds and bring people together. As the envoy faced the most difficult moments, humanity realized that their fate was tied to more than technology or strategy. It depended on their ability to rise above fear and show their true nature. In this extraordinary moment, the line between enemy and ally blurred, and the possibility of a new beginning took shape. The first encounter was not the end, but the start of a path that would test every aspect of humanity's character. The universe was watching, and Earth had answered the call with a strength born of hope, courage, and the unbreakable will to survive. This was a turning point where the future hung in balance, and every heart on Earth beat with the question, could humanity prove it was worthy of peace? Humanity stood at the edge of an extraordinary moment where grit, ingenuity, and an unyielding spirit converged to meet the alien trial that had seemed impossible to overcome. The envoy, carrying the hopes of billions, faced challenge after challenge that tested the very core of human nature, its resilience, creativity, and capacity for cooperation. These trials were not simply physical or intellectual. They were a reflection of humanity's soul, demanding courage in the face of fear, wisdom in the face of confusion, and unity in the face of division. Every test pushed the limits of endurance and spirit, forcing humanity to confront its darkest fears and its brightest hopes all at once. Against all odds, the envoy succeeded, proving that Earthlings were more than just survivors of their worlds. Many hardships, they were warriors who would fight to protect their home, thinkers who sought knowledge beyond their own limits, and creators who could build a future worthy of the stars. This triumph was not only a victory for one person, but a testament to the collective strength of an entire species learning to stand together. In response, the alien leader, once distant and intimidating, now showed a rare openness. The Armada, that had once seemed a threat, now carried a message of acknowledgement and possibility. The aliens recognized humanity's potential and offered something unexpected in alliance. This proposal was more than a pact. It was an invitation to join a wider community of civilizations, to share knowledge, culture, and the responsibilities that come with greater power. The doors to the galaxy were opening, revealing a vast and complex universe filled with opportunities and dangers alike. And Earth was no longer a small, isolated planet, but a rising beacon of hope and strength in the cosmos, a symbol of resilience. and courage that others could look toward in times of darkness. This awakening ignited a new era on Earth, where old conflicts faded into the background as people united under a common vision of exploration and defense. Governments transformed into collaborators, sharing technology and resources to prepare for a future that was both thrilling and uncertain. Education shifted to include the mysteries of space and the ethics of interstellar relations, inspiring a generation of dreamers and doers ready to take humanity beyond its home world. The Alliance brought with it new challenges, as humans learned to navigate a galaxy where power was balanced by diplomacy and where every decision carried weight beyond Earth's atmosphere. But the fire that had burned within humanity since the first signal continued to grow stronger. It was fueled by pride in what had been achieved and hope for what was yet to come. Stories of heroism and innovation spread across the planet, reminding everyone that the story of humanity was far from over. It was just beginning, and the pages yet to be written promised to be legendary. As Earth prepared to send its first ambassadors beyond the solar system, there was a collective understanding that the journey ahead would require the best of humanity's courage and wisdom. The fury that had once been a response to fear had transformed into a fierce pride and determination to protect and explore. To learn and to teach, to fight when necessary, but always to seek peace. In this new cosmic chapter, Earth was ready, not only to defend itself, but to thrive among the stars, carrying the legacy of its struggles and triumphs as a shining example of what it meant to be human. The awakening had come, and with it, a promise that humanity would never again be alone or silent in the vastness of space. The galaxy awaited, full of mysteries and wonders, and Earth was prepared to meet it, head-on with fury, with pride, and with an unbreakable spirit that would inspire generations to come.